Okay, so now we're going to talk about prefixes and how to give your answer in a standard form or using a prefix, okay? Excellent. Now let's start with a standard form. If you got a 2 million of joules, for example, how are you going to write this? You cannot write this as a final answer. So basically, you bring the first number, which is 2, and then you put a dot after that, and then you count how many numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's 6. And what's next to the 0? It's also 0. So 2.0 times 10 power 6 joules. Okay, now let's look at this one. This is in a reverse way. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this to come to this point, that is 2.0 times 10. How many numbers we counted? That was 6. So 2.0 times negative 6 meters. Okay, now let's try to round this big number. So let's look at this. So 2, and then you put a dot, and you look at those two numbers. So let's say, for example, we're given the answer to two significant figures. So the number next to the 7, if it's 5 or more, so it adds up to the 7. So the 7 becomes 8, and then you write 2 times 10, and then you count how many numbers is next to the 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's times 10 power 6 newtons. All right, let's go to the other one. Same, but this is what's next to the 7. That is a 4. So the 4 doesn't add up to the 7. 7 stays the same. So this would be 2.7 times 10 power 6 Newton. That's for the idea of a standard form. Now, let's look at a prefix. So a prefix is basically, as we said, it's something to make a large number look okay, or a smaller number also look readable or takes less space. So if you look at this is a 2, and you've got how many zeros? That's about 6 zeros next to it. If you look into these prefixes on the left here, so which one stands for 10 power 6? That would be the mega. So you would write this as 2 mega joules. You just basically removed all the zeros and you wrote mega, or you wrote the letter M. Now, let's look at this one. This one is in the smaller figure. So this goes 1, 2, and 3. So this becomes 2. And which one gives you a 3 movement, or a 3, which is 10 power minus 3. So it's like dividing by 1,000. So you could say this is equal to 2 milliampere, and that's how you use prefixes, and that's how you use a standard form. For an extra example, so let's use this one. For example, if you have this as 2.00035 and then 6, and you want to write this in standard form, so let's do it. This 1, 2, 3, and there's a 4 at this point. So 3 point, and then you look at those two numbers. The one next to the 5 is a 6, so the 5 becomes a 6. So times 0.6, sorry, times 10 power, how many numbers we move? So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is minus 4, whatever the unit is. So let's say, for example, it was meters. So 3.6 times 10 power minus 4. And that's how you deal with standard form prefixes and how you use them in the exam. Thank you.